Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Immigrant Section. It's your boy Abbas Wahab saying howdy. Thank you for tuning in. We got another banger episode for you tonight. In the studio with me, my guy, comedian here in Toronto. He's been running through the scene with me for a couple of years now. Very happy to have him in the studio with me. My guy, Himansu Patel. What are you saying, homie?
What's going on about? You're supposed to say motherfucking Patel. Like I was waiting.
I
for
said
that.
motherfucking before, but I used that like a boxing name for you.
Is my daughter gonna watch this?
No,
Okay,
I don't know. That's on you. That's not up to me to decide.
Good to be here, bro.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Thank you for reaching here all the way from Saga. 30-minute drive, not too bad.
36 minutes. I fucked up because I went to the wrong house, but that's all good. I'd be like the worst Uber Eats guy.
Yeah.
Just fucking
like
random.
I went to the one on the address. It's like you typed it in wrong. It's like actually, when you do Uber Eats, they automatically link you to Google Maps and whatever. So you never type in their address.
Yeah,
Like
the app's
it's
connected
inputted
to
for
the-
you. Can't even fuck that up.
You can't.
He's probably still would somehow.
I would. Yeah, but the key is Uber Eats. I realized you could be a brown guy, double park anywhere with hazards, and just have a bag of food, and you'll never get a ticket.
Dude, maybe outside of Toronto, but fucking in Toronto, these people, the biking people here are just like savages. They'll take you down in a second, man.
They will, eh? Yeah, Saga's all right. I double park all over the place. I just carry Tupperware.
Yeah, just carry tough.
And I'm good. I don't fucking pay for parking nowhere.
Like it reminds me of one time, like I parked with my mom, like when I was like 19, I parked in a handicap spot, and you know when you come out with dragging your foot, and you're like, Mom, drag your foot. She's like, what the you dumbass.
I know. I never took advantage of the handicap sticker stuff. My dad actually.
Yeah,
like,
you have
obviously,
good morals, huh?
I do. Yeah. I do. I know. I had my aging father. Right. My dad lost his vision like a few years back. God rest his soul for sure. But man, like we never leveraged that. I park like far, and we just like roll him wherever he is.
What are you doing?
I know.
Bro? What are you doing?
I was lazy.
That's the benefits of these fucking disabilities.
I didn't fill out the form, man. I just didn't fill out the form.
Yo, but thank you for joining me, brother.
Man.
You got an interesting past in the sense that you DJ just like Russell Peters, huh?
Russell's a sick DJ. First, he's a turntable. Like this guy's a scratcher.
Like OG.
He's an OG. He's like a hip hop aficionado and more. This guy's obviously when you're best friends with like Grandmaster Flash, the founder of hip hop. Like, that's another level. But yeah, Scratch for sure. He's a DJ, and he's one of my obviously comedic, idols / influences for sure. But yeah, he's been DJing, and I too. Yeah, it's been DJing since I was 11, 12 years old, man. Bought my first record at 12 years old.
Really?
Yeah, been playing for a long time.
Do you do like weddings and stuff?
Absolutely, and I
Bro,
think
I haven't come past you yet. I run into like
because you're running the fucking non-alcoholic weddings.
No,
bro.
I do Punjabi
I
weddings
listened
too.
to your podcast, and
Yeah.
they're all non-alcoholic weddings.
Most of them are.
And I also saw a clip of yours a couple weeks back.
Oh, that was rough. That was a Pakistani wedding.
I've done them all.
The most Muslim Pakistani wedding. There was no music. There was a guy named. You ever met DJ Sam?
That sounds like every wedding DJ.
Yeah. Dude, this guy was like, just call me DJ Sam. I'm like, I think it's gonna be hard for people to find you. He's like, people just call me DJ Sam. My buddy was getting married. He's like, do you know a DJ? I'm like, Google DJ Sam. He's in Brampton. He's like, he comes back to me. He's like, I couldn't find him. I'm like, fucking DJ Sam. Get a last name too, bro.
Did the wedding circuit for a minute, man. We do all the weddings, like Indian weddings, Gujarati weddings for sure.
What's
right?
Gujarati?
Gujarati is my Indian culture, right? So I'm Gujarati, right? There's different types of.
Are these
Indian.
like the merchants and the what? And the,
You know what? Yeah, if you're based on a caste system, for sure.
I know, yeah, that's all I know.
It's like Patel apparently means farmer, bro.
I thought Patel was merchant.
Well,
But Patel is Gujarati's
your shit,
mid-level.
you sell it,
It's
right?
mid-level.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, you get like the higher you go, I guess the more north and lighter skin you get, the better you are as an Indian person, right? Like,
Isn't this system
it's
hilarious?
great. Well, Patel, yeah. If you're a farmer cultivating your veggies, you're selling it. So yeah, you're a merchant.
Interesting. Because I had Amish Patel on, and he broke this thing on. He's a Patel too.
Yep, of course.
But I forget who the highest level were. They're like the
Brahma.
Brahma.
Yeah,
They're like very fair skin.
Well, in terms of last names, I don't know, because I met some fucking dark ass Gujarati dudes, man.
They're like, I'm Brahma, bro. I'm fucking Brahma.
Yeah, but no, it depends where you are. But the northern you get, it's more like Kashmir area, like Punjabi or Pakistani, for example. They are relatively known to be like lighter skin, right?
Oh.
Yeah, but and the more south you go, like the gradient just gets.
Yeah, it gets darker.
If you're
As you
Photoshop, you're just fucking dragging.
dragging the
gradient
lowering
tool.
brightness. Yeah,
Exactly.
But fuck, dude, have you been back to India anytime soon?
Yeah, man. I went when I was first time I went. I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
My parents literally took me out of grade 6.
Yeah.
I was there for 3 months.
Yo, dude, I did the same thing in grade 5. For Sudan.
Yeah, I went in February and I came back in like mid-April. First time in India. Aside from getting traumatized when I got there.
Yeah.
Well, all my white.
You're born here, right?
Born and raised in Canada. Yeah,
Montreal.
exactly.
You're
Montreal originally. I moved here about eight years ago. In Toronto. But yeah, when I left to go to India to visit for 3 months, like all my white classmates were like crying because I thought I was like moving forever.
Yeah.
So I got there, man.
Manta's not coming back.
Oh, bro, like fucking all these fucking people in grade 6 are crying. Whatever, it's funny. But yeah, when I got there, I fucking hated it. Like I wanted to get on the plane and come back. I was crying, calling my sisters back at home. I'm like,
You were 12.
Like,
you were 12.
Huh?
You were 12.
12, man.
You were like a brat. Would you say, wait. So those were honest assessments, or would you say you were just kind of like, a little bit like of a brat?
I was a kid, and yes, I did have some. I wasn't like a bratty Dennis the Menace type of kid, but I was like
you didn't have a slingshot in your back pocket.
No, nothing like that. But I was always like.
You're like a white kid they dropped in India, and they're like, fuck this.
I'm like, what's this?
Yeah. I'm Canadian.
Like this, look at spots all over my fucking thing. People started donating money to me and shit, sponsoring me. But no, it was a crazy experience. So first 2-3 weeks were terrible. Like I just didn't want to eat anything. I was like, I accidentally drank like the well water, and
What city is this, by the way?
Okay, so we're from the village, bro.
Yeah, okay.
So you land in I actually.
What's the name of the village?
I went when I landed. I went when it was Bombay. It wasn't even Mumbai yet.
Oh,
so this
shit.
was 92. So I landed in Bombay, and there's like this man in a van that picks you up
from the airport.
From the airport, you think you're like almost home, but it's like a 9-hour drive to your village. Right?
Like how many actual hours? Like literally like a long.
Well, if you factor in the amount of shits I had to take on the way home, 9 hours.
Jeez, they were stopping every second
Let's
for
say
your
6.
ass.
Now the infrastructure's a bit better. Right?
Gotcha.
So it's like smoother roads. So I think about 4, you're good to go.
Yeah, okay.
And there's a spot because in Gujarat you can't buy alcohol. So anyways, okay, I wasn't buying alcohol at 12, but anyway, that trip.
I thought you said you weren't Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, exactly. No, but the later years, like I kind of figured it out. And anyways, like the first 3 weeks were terrible. First month was terrible. I was like throwing up, and I just wasn't feeling good. And I wanted to come back, but I was stuck there hostage till April. My parents, right?
Yeah.
But honestly, bro, like the last month, straight up fob. I became a straight up.
You like your hand at the beginning. You're like doing this, and then at the end you were like this.
I'm swearing in Gujarati. I'm like eating all the foods. People think I'm a local. I bought a bicycle. I fucking use coconut oil in my hair. I was straight up. That's why I'm like, I don't think I belong on his podcast. I'm not an immigrant, but you know what? I am.
This guy's born and bred. Yeah, he's got coconut. Yeah.
Oh, I love
could
my
see the
culture,
remnants
bro.
of it.
Yeah, I love it. I love being Gujarati. I love being a brown guy.
What happened?
Huh?
Do you remember what happened? Like the turning point from like fuck this place to oh shit.
Yeah,
just accepting that. Oh, we're not going back till April.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 months, bro. It's not that bad. But then when you get the bite and you have to develop a circle of friends, I think there's a friends for sure. Like all these little Indian kids, in the village, right? They would like gravitate towards me, and we'd be cool.
Would they call you Canada boy?
No, they called me my real name, Himansu. Yeah, they called me Himansu. In Gujarati, these guys are they taught me a lot, man. We'd climb trees and stuff, and like get like fucking.
Dude, I love this. Is the most like wholesome. Like you guys went. It was like camp essentially.
It was like camp, but it was like in houses made of cow manure.
Okay,
like straight up village, bro.
God damn, dude.
But we had a house. Like my parents had they built a house with their.
We're the exact same scenario in Sudan. We're in the village. We have a big house that has like a courtyard.
Is like bright orange or yellow.
It's actually blue, but now it's like the fucking
like
the brick is bare now.
Right,
but you could see the pyramids. You could see some limestone on them, but it's mostly just like once upon a time they were nice. Yeah, you got to refinish it. No, nobody was refinishing that shit. Like as soon as you get out, it just becomes that house you come back to every 5 years, and like you got a bunch of relatives living in it and keeping it when you're gone.
There's like a chain lock with like a Dudley.
Yeah, exactly. and if you die, then there's some weird shit over there where they'll just take your house. Everyone's like, go get your shit in. Like in Sudan and stuff, if you die, like the will shit, it's so easy to just be like, I live here. This is my house.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't just be in a house here and die and be like, this is my house. The bank's like, no, this is our house.
Yeah, exactly. BMO's like, nope, that's not your house.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when I was like 12, it's a beautiful country for sure. But then I went back in my later 20s.
Okay. So only twice?
No, 12.
12 in late 20s.
And twice in my late 20s.
Gotcha.
Sorry, early 30s. Because my parents became like snowbirds, Indian snowbirds.
Back and forth.
They were building their more recent house there. And they would go for like 6-7 months, right? Yeah. Leaving like October, come back in April again. But then as my dad aged, traveling was cumbersome.
Too taxing
on them. So I would go and I'd literally bring them back. I was like,
so they would go by themselves,
and I would like bring them back. Only twice I did that scenario, and it was really beautiful, right? But it takes 2 days to adjust. But I was only there, bro, for like 9 days.
Oh, okay. So
I'm not like doing the tours.
Yeah,
I'm not like partying and stuff. I did go out partying one night actually. I'll deal with that later.
Well, okay. So when you went back, in your 20s, 30s, was to just bring them back, or was to go and visit?
That was the objective. Yeah, for sure. To go and and see my grandmother, see my family. Like when I got there, like I wasn't like the first time when I was 12. I loved it. Like
this time you loved it from the get go.
In my early 30s, late 20s, loved it. You know, loved the food, loved just in awe.
The vibe, right?
The vibe.
Because you look the same as everyone else.
How far you are, man? Like I took a picture on Instagram. I'm like, all right, peace. I'm out. It's like KLM from like fucking Montreal airport, or I think I left from Pearson at that time. And then you wake up and you're like, damn, I'm in like India.
Yeah,
Wild.
What city were you in that time? Villages again, or?
No. So my parents, they actually built a small house in like, man, it's a developed area. It was like the, what do you compare it to?
Like the Guelph?
Yeah, I mean like a Guelph. Like, they built like now we have the cookie cutter houses like Markham. Right?
Yeah.
But it's like that, but in India. But it's not like as crazy baller. But it was a decent little neighborhood, man. Yeah. It's called the Charasta, means the 4 crossroads. So Char means 4, Rasta means road, right? So that's like the cross intersection will take you to different cities, right? So we lived around that main intersection, right? So it's pretty busy, not as crazy as like Mumbai or Delhi, but
how far from those places?
How far from the big cities, bro?
Yeah.
Like 5 hours.
Oh, okay. Still the village.
100%. Yeah,
So,
around the village, but now it's like village, like little more.
So you're saying that the village itself changed in those 20 years or so?
Yeah, India changed a lot. They didn't turn into like crazy metropolitan cities. The villages will be the villages, but then the outskirts, they started building these like developments, right? And the more developments you build, more like locals were buying property and houses. Obviously, the more affluent they got, but most importantly, well, not importantly, like what happened was a lot of out-of-towners and what do you call those people?
Expats? Or?
Exactly. Expats would move there for the winter and buy houses themselves. Australia, New Zealand, people from England, people from Canada, the U.S.
In the village area, or you were talking about in Mumbai?
A little outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that Charasta thing that I told you about.
Where you were at, you saw Australians and shit, like regularly?
Yeah, bro. There's like New Zealanders.
Legit?
New Zealanders. Yeah, like not like actual white Australian people, like Indian Gujaratis sometimes.
Gotcha.
Like white guys. Hey, I'm like buying Indian
mate.
food. Hey, mate.
Yeah.
Like opens a Foster's.
Yeah. Real estate's great here. It's like, what the fuck? No, like the Indian guy nationals from all these places, right? Gotcha. That's fucking dope, dude. I get it. Like in the village, I went to the village like 3 times in Sudan.
Yeah.
And I went when I was like in grade 5, and when I went in grade 10, I remember when we were leaving, they were like just lifting up, and this was like 2007 or something.
Shit.
They were just lifting up a phone tower. Like the village was just getting a phone tower. You know what I mean? So it's like not much changes, but it's weird. It's like they could in 15 minutes they'll go to an internet cafe and be online and everything, but go back to like the craziest level of not poverty in the sense that they're hungry, just like everything is mud homes and it's a simple life of chilling, and like a lot of people are together. They live in a big courtyard that has a lot of the families, like that type of like old style tribal living.
They all share like one soccer ball.
Yeah, like it's not that deprived, but you got to go into like Madani, which is the city that I was born in.
Right.
You got to go into the main like hub city to get internet cafes, to book like flights, and then you got to go to the capital to actually fly out. So it's like, I imagine it's probably similar over there. The village system, there's a couple of like node cities, and then the capitals.
That's exactly how it is. And my grandmother, I love her. She's still here, and she's like almost 96 years old. My mom's mom, bro.
That's wild.
Still around.
I only met one grandparent.
Only one grandparent? Yeah. My dad's side, they're both gone. My mom's dad passed in 2013. But it was, she's still here. And she lives in the village still. So she's still old school. There's no like...
All her nieces and like shit do everything for her, I bet.
Most of the family's in Canada, but we do have family friends that are right next door that like help out and do all that, And I saw one of my cousins sent a video of like Indian women, like even during COVID, like they're just in a group chanting, singing in honor of her wedding. And she was my cousin getting married in England. Shouts to Mira, what's up? So I saw these ladies chanting, and my grandmother's in the back tucked away, and she just looks beautiful, looks the same. And she pretty much raised me from like 0 to 5. Like,
so your grandma did?
Because I was
Canada.
In Canada. I was dropped off there because my parents used to go to work. So when I was like a baby, or like, a year old, I'd be at your grandparents' house, right? That's all how it was.
Like right now, my mom has at least one or two of my sister's kids all the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's important, man. Like, so a lot of the food that I eat, the tastes that I like was all like, I think, planted the seed back then when they babysat me. And I love my maternal grandparents were like amazing with me, right?
That's sick. Did your grandma end up like learning English, or was she like the old generation where they've been here for decades, but just like stick in the community?
Stick in the community. She's
Yeah.
a sweetheart. Yeah, my man. When I try to speak to her, like obviously you have to scream so she can hear you, but she still gets it. She knows what's up. Very sharp, and like she's still here. So I don't know what the secret is, but one thing I do remember, Abbas, is that every night she'd have either a beer or half a glass of Johnny.
Johnny Walker?
Johnny Walker.
Like we're talking about here.
Here,
even
there? I think there too.
Is alcohol normal for Gujaratis?
Good question. So you asked me about the trip and the drive to the village, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now when I got to an adult, my mom would warn me saying, hey, by the way, if you want beer, buy it from the stop because you can't find it in Gujarat, right? Because alcohol is prohibited. You can still find it at like places.
Isn't it mostly non-Muslims? Or are they mostly like why
They're
would
non-Muslims,
alcohol be?
bro. But there's a lot of Muslims where we are too. There's a lot of Muslims.
But why is alcohol prohibited?
It's just a rule in Gujarat, man. Like I don't know the history behind it, but it's forbidden. But you could find a lot of like hookups.
They're mostly Hindi people, or like
Hindus, yeah, mostly Hindus.
Oh, sorry,
Gujarat
Hindi is the
mostly,
language, right?
But Hindi's the dialect, yeah.
Yeah, so for Hindus, alcohol is allowed, right? Isn't it?
It is allowed, but in the state of Gujarat, it's banned. It's not a question of
Okay, so it's like Tennessee, it's a dry state kind of thing, even though
it's a dry
Johnny
state,
Walker comes from.
But you're allowed once you're in Maharashtra, like where Mumbai is, where the airport is. You're allowed to like ball out and like buy bottles of Grey Goose.
And there's bars everywhere.
Bars everywhere.
Yeah,
It's bars. But that's the thing. My mom's like, she warned me. She's like, don't forget to get the alcohol stamp. You stamp your passport thing. You're a tourist, and I think there's like a sticker you need on your passport. So if you do get stopped by the cops and you search your car,
you show them.
Never happened. You show them that, right? But the stores that I would go to, like the driver would know Canadian guy coming. Of course, he's going to want like a 2-4.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And that's exactly what I did, bro. Like I got there, I went out. The flight lands at like fucking midnight. By the time you get out of customs and shit, it's like 1:30 in the morning. We're driving through the rockety roads. He's like, "Oh, you want a beer, right?" I'm like, yeah.
Please stop right now. Yeah,
exactly.
Like I'm about to fix this jet lag with straight beers. You know what I mean? I'm going to sleep right now, one way or another. You know,
Exactly.
Dude. I had no idea. Like it's so funny how that alcohol forbidden shit is like. It's like old religious stuff somehow finds its way when even the religion doesn't even pertain to it. Like it's like Hindus drink alcohol, but it's like, sorry, we don't allow it here. Like the Brits, is it an old Brit thing? Because the Brits are the biggest, like they drink crazy. It's not like they came and were like, no alcohol, right?
No,
so
I don't think it was the Brits. I think it was just the Indian culture.
Do you feel the after effects of British when you're there?
Yeah, you see the remnants. You see
Tell me.
driving. Like I'm driving to that little city where my mom got that house.
Yeah,
and you
hours
see, like,
from
a
the airport,
statue-
so you're just looking.
hours looking around, and you see like a commemorative statue of like Gandhi and like what he did and how he walked through those train tracks, right? When he
What train tracks?
wanted to
I don't know
take-
this story.
No, it's just that he would be walking everywhere, but he walked through the specific railroad crossing where we live, and it's a statue of him, and it's kind of like a commemorative plaque about what he did back in.
Do people give a fuck about Gandhi? Does anybody say Gandhi when you're there?
No, man.
No?
No.
Is Gandhi even a bigger thing here in North America than he is there?
Well, he's one of the most friggin' like known men, like known.
I know, but I feel like if you go to like Cuba or something, no one's even like
Yeah,
Che
so-
Guevara, like or like
Oh, Che Guevara.
Is he's Cuban or what was he? Was he Colombian or what the fuck?
Che-
I don't know, but like
All I know is they have great magnets.
Yeah, there you go. Like, do those people not give a fuck? And it's just like us here with the t-shirts, like Gandhi quotes, like Instagram chicks with ass out, Gandhi
like-
quotes, and over there no one really gives a fuck.
Nah,
They're like, oh yeah, Gandhi, we learned about him. Like, is Gandhi just like Terry Fox over there?
Yeah.
we learned about it in the curriculum, and then in India they're like, Terry Fox said this, you know? They're like, it's reverse.
Well, he did a lot of, I think, movement through Gujarat. So I know there's one lake or ocean called Dandi River. Yeah. It's called Dandi. It's like a beach, right?
Named
So a lot
after him?
No. It's just a beach, but that's where he was, I think, when he did his hunger strike.
Yeah.
Right? And that's where I think the salt was coming from that water, and he like laid down there. So I know there's some history in Gujarat, like.
This is stupid as fuck.
Gandhi's,
but
I didn't watch the movie in a long time with Ben Kingsley, but we should maybe kick it.
I haven't seen that, but
That's a
I don't
great
even
movie.
know. I just realized just today, coincidentally, I'm driving with my girlfriend. She said something about Gandhi, and I was like, I don't even really know what Gandhi did. I just know that he had a hunger strike. I just know he was involved with getting the Brits out of India.
Getting the Brits
and
out of
I don't
India,
know
man, and
anything
also,
else.
Yeah, getting the Brits out of India, obviously like positioning like religious views, freedoms.
How do
and
you do that?
beliefs.
How do you get the Brits out of India by being like, I ain't eating?
Well, he
We
wasn't
gotta get the fuck out of here. This guy's skinny as shit.
exactly. He wasn't the beefiest guy in the
He's
head.
not gonna eat it. Yeah, Colonel.
There's one
We
joke
looked over the child. Blamey's not eating.
wasn't eating. Apparently, he gave up a lot of things and personal sacrifices.
Now apparently they're like, bro, Gandhi, Me Too, like left and right. Now you're hearing
apparently.
Bondi had pussy on lockdown like crazy.
Yo, I have this joke. I don't say it on stage, but I go, Gandhi's the original Salt Bay.
Yeah, right. He's like,
He's
this
like-
thing.
He's the guy that, like, 'cause
Truth.
it was India's salt, right? That he used as, like, that was the commodity that India had. That he's like, no salt for anybody. That's the
Okay,
thing.
so that's what she was
That was
telling me.
one of the things,
It used to be
yeah.
like, don't touch the sand because there's salt in the sand, and the Brits had the right to the sand.
Yes.
And he was the first guy to be like, I pick up the sand.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't care.
So he's the original Salt Bay, not that fucking guy in where is he? Abu Dhabi?
Turkey or
Turkey,
something. He's in
yeah.
New York, but I think he's Turkish. Isn't that
Oh,
funny? It's
yeah.
funny, this old colonial shit, to be like,
It's
we
wild.
have rights on all of your salt. It's like,
Crazy.
what?
Yeah, man.
Look at how light we are. Don't question it. We have a big army.
It's so
Would
nuts.
God, would someone with the skin this fair tell you a lie? He's right.
Yeah.
He's pretty light skinned. I'm gonna go ahead and trust this guy. He has a pretty light complexion. It's wild.
It absolutely is wild, being around.
I need to go to India. My girl, she wants to go fucking. She's a yoga instructor, so she's trying to go.
Oh, dude, she's ready. She already fucking booked the flight, bro.
Yeah, she's like, actually, she talked to an old Indian woman who like came to her class.
Yeah.
She's like, I want to go study in India. And she's like, don't go now.
Yeah, don't go now. My mom is being coerced to go right now, and she's like, oh, let's wait a bit. Maybe next year you'll go,
Because fucking COVID, like their COVID shit was like, they got hit after the world handled it the first wave. And we're like, okay, let's see how long this shit.
They had a good grasp on it
They had
a good grasp on it at the beginning, right?
Yeah, but then Amish was telling me, he's like, the Hindu man cannot get COVID. Only the Muslim can get COVID. Like the one guy, the politician or something, was saying that he had mass gatherings.
Yes.
For like a political rally thing, and
Modi.
it exploded like crazy. COVID.
Oh yeah, no. There's a super spreader event every day, bro. There's a super spreader event in India every hour.
there's over 1 billion
There's so
people.
many people. You can't. I was telling my girlfriend about this like a few days ago. I'm like, it's hard to get the pandemic under control. You can't work from home, bro. There's no. You gotta be in the train.
You have to be out. Yeah.
You gotta be out. You gotta still run your business and feed your family and do what you gotta do to fucking put dinner on the table.
It's
for your
actually
family.
funny you say that because I was in St. Thomas, which is here in Ontario. It's a small town. You know St. Thomas?
St. Thomas, no.
It's outside of London. It's like a small,
Okay.
those towns, 30,000
yeah.
population.
Yep.
But I was doing a comedy show. One of the comedians before me, he does a bit about working from home. And in the audience, it's so like industrial blue collar there. When he said work from home, they pulled back on him like, how are you going to get anything done from home? Yeah, exactly. Like, how are you going to saw at the sawmill from home? You know what I mean?
What do you mean, my Cisco WebEx?
Yeah, exactly. They pulled back on him right away. I was like, damn, man, this is the boonies right here.
Yeah, man, you gotta read the crowd for sure.
But it's rough, at the same time, you don't want to like underestimate and feel like you're treating them. Sometimes I'm like, I'm going to do my shit. Yeah. And because part of me goes, man, these people out here, they're ignorant. I got to dumb it down. Yeah. But then you're just underestimating the people. And then I think that actually hurts you more than anything. Mm-hmm. And then I did my normal set and I bombed so hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, I should have just done ABCs and like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like I look back, I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I gotta respect everyone now. Fuck that shit.
Well, that's the thing, right? Of growing in your voice and developing your crowd work and adapting to the environments and all that, right? Like,
you got in the game late. How do you?
I got in the game late.
They say, listening to a lot of stuff, the later people get in the game, the faster they go through the bullshit. Because you come in with kind of like, who you are as a human. Whereas a lot of people, you start when you're 18.
Yeah.
You spend 10 years on stage and off stage, you're still trying to figure out who you are.
100%.
People coming in their 30s are like, I know.
I've
been.
what I mean? Yeah. I've been through a lot. But in terms of like the shits, like, yeah, like I was in a nightlife game since I was like 16 years old, right?
Did you DJ at clubs and shit like that?
Clubs.
Did you ever have a run-in with fucking, what's his name? Russell?
All the time.
Yeah?
All the time. Not in the clubs, but one of my actually good friends and who I used to book as a DJ when I was doing parties consistently in Montreal since like 99, 2000 was starting from scratch. That's Russell's tour DJ, right?
Oh,
and, yeah, Mark, what up? You know, and yeah, we're friends and obviously we're in the same circle. And we actually did parties together here in Toronto called the Breakfast Club, the 80s parties.
Oh.
I did that when I moved. And our
Weren't you like 10 in the 80s?
No, like 80s parties today. Like,
I'm
like fucking
damn, bro.
Hey.
Yeah. That 9-year-old's a fucking DJ prodigy, man.
That's the only guy with a lunchbox in the club.
That's Himansu Van Buren. He's gonna be huge one day.
This is going up to George Floyd.
You'll know who he is in fucking 20 years.
That was crazy. Yeah, weddings as well. Like some mutual friends of ours. Like I'm at like table 12 and like Russell's at table 16. So he's seen me around for sure. You know, and Scratch is his tour DJ. And I told you he's like influenced for sure. Russell's one of them for sure. Yeah.
Seems nice guy when you run into him.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he can come off a bit like, you know, rude or whatever, but everyone's after him.
Yeah,
like, you know,
I was gonna say when he's at table 16 and you're at 12.
No, the weddings are pretty good because all like family and friends, so no one's all over him. That was great vibes, you know, like drinking and having fun, selfies and shit. It was great.
That's easy.
But the reason I'm saying that because I don't know if you know this, but I used to work for the festival GFL for 7 years.
Dude, I had no idea.
Exactly.
Wait,
Yeah.
in Montreal?
In Montreal.
Okay, I have a million questions, but
only during the festival time. So from 2000.
that's all I care about.
Yeah, 2007 to 2014, every summer, like clockwork, I was a contractor for the festival, and they had me run one of the rooms there. This is before I even thought of, I had the inkling of doing stand-up. So I saw Russell at all the after parties, I saw him at the Hyatt, I saw him at all the things, and everybody, like fucking bees are all over him. Like this is when he was
This
like,
is especially when he was like God.
this like
he was
fucking,
a God.
Yeah, like 07 especially, bro.
when
Like
he was the top.
the top of the top, right?
Yeah.
So obviously the whole entourage is there. So obviously I'd be like a little starstruck, but also doing my job because I don't want to be a fucking fanboy. And I also wasn't doing stand-up then, but always respected the guy, respected his hustle. He is fucking hilarious. And a lot of stuff in Russell's life has mirrored what I've been through, which is fucking nuts. Everything from like marriage to having a kid to like going through like a divorce to like having aging parents to like, you know.
But that's the human experience,
Vices.
though, right?
It is,
He had his
but-
kid real late. He had his kid when he was like 50.
He did. But it was the same summer. Like he knocked up like the same summer.
Oh, that's
And his
hilarious.
friend-
That's a throwback.
His friend Scratch is like,
This is a brown boy summer. This is a brown boy summer.
His friend's like, man, the same thing's happened to Russell right now as you speak. I'm like, man, you know, it's crazy.
You're like,
you know,
oh, this
life is-
isn't a fucking.
So I bought his biography and like I was reading the pages and I go through books pretty slow. Like, you know, I read a few chapters here, I put it down. But this one, I breezed through it the whole like one Sunday morning because everything was relatable. And I don't want to be like, I'm like Russell Peters. I'm not. Like we're all different, right?
Yeah,
In terms of you did a lot for the fucking brown comedy community for sure, but a lot of the personal stuff hit me like direct, which was cool. And yeah, you know, he's a dope dude still. So he's a good DJ.
When you
DJ.
did you watch comedians perform in those 7 years?
I did all the time. I saw Sebastian Maniscalco, Colin Quinn, Russell, Howie Man.
Do you remember in that whole? Do you remember the biggest kill in 7 years? Like the one where it's like
honestly one of the biggest kill. No, I don't remember the biggest kill, but I do remember the biggest own was Kumail Nanjiani.
the biggest own.
The own like a heckler was like.
Oh, gotcha.
It was Kumail, right?
Okay, this is before he became like the top of the world.
Before everything, yeah.
This is like 2011, probably. I'm assuming.
Yeah, about that. 2012, perhaps. Yeah.
Before he was in every movie.
Exactly.
Now he's in a Marvel movie. I think.
He's a Marvel. Yeah, he's jacked. That guy.
Yeah,
Holy
dude, you
shit.
gotta get jacked.
He's
Everybody's
so
jacked.
But this guy was going at him, and this is when, like I said before, like I watched stand up. I watched like Eddie Murphy, Delirious and Raw, one of my favorite all time like stand ups. I was there more. I was always on the behind the scenes side. I was always the marketing guy, the promo guy, the guy running the show behind. Never even fucking thought of holding a mic, right? So I didn't understand the craft really of how it worked, right? I'd be like literally having a cigarette like on the staircase at like the Comedy Works. That's where the Best of the Fest was, where all the comedians that were doing galas on the weekend would do their warm-up sets at my show.
So these are, if the gals, for people who don't know, these are headliners normally.
These are theater seats.
Yes, these are headlining
This is like
comedians.
An evening with Hassan Minhaj would be on the Sunday with like 2,000 people at a theater in St. Catherine Street. But a small room like Comedy Works, if it's about 100 people, he would do
just running the set.
Running their set, time it, whatever. So I would pace the show, tell them when to go on, coordinate when the comics would go to their next set. If Hassan had like an 8-minute window to get to the next venue, stuff like that. Really cool. But I never really understood.
Do you remember Kumail's comeback? Or what?
No, I
whole
didn't
thing?
exactly.
Oh, dude,
The
I wish
crowd
I-
just erupted, and I at first I'm like, oh my god, this is getting intense, right? I didn't quite.
Was it a racist thing? He was
I'm
coming
like, this
at,
is
or
my
was it
job.
just
Do I have to break this up as a host guy, like as
yeah.
a venue coordinator? Like, what do I do here? But yeah, he owned it. But no, there's so many big names that rolled in and out of there at the festival. It was unbelievable. But once again, never starstruck, just infatuated with the lifestyle. I mean, what you know? You go there, you do your jokes, and you leave. You know, like Sebastian Maniscalco, for example, this is before he blew up, murdered, right?
He murdered?
Of course, he's amazing.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Even back then, he was like
one of my favorites. Yeah.
he's same
What do you do though?
in terms of shtick, in terms of
No,
material?
you're saying like he murdered and he just dipped or what?
Yeah, he just comes chilling, eating a pizza, does his set, leaves, right? But we don't understand. Now as comedians, we understand. Like, we have our set done. We know we're
He was eating a pizza when he came?
Yeah, like scarfed on a shawarma. And like, now we could, we're getting more comfortable, obviously, on stage. But these guys have been at it for years. And so I guess it planted the seed early, man. So from 2007 to 14 was the JFL stuff. And then at 37 years of age, I just had this fucking gut feeling. I'm like, maybe you should try doing stand-up, So was it a midlife crisis? No. Was it something that I wanted to try? I'm like, all right. And plus, I was like a single dad and stuff. I was working for like a tech. I'm still working for this company. And I go, let me get myself a birthday present and do the Second City fucking stand-up one.
Sick.
Stuff, right?
Yeah,
so I registered. And it was nice. Like my own little
Foot in the
community.
door.
Foot in the door. Understand the craft. And I don't like the nerdy stuff. Like, well, man, comedy is this times A. And, there's a pie chart.
Yeah.
Come on. Fun
But
is
it's like
fun.
at least I'm around people that just want to do a set.
Yeah.
And like, I've got some disposable income. Just lay it out in front of me. This makes going on stage a little bit more digestible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I totally get it.
And as a DJ, like you're always performing. As a promoter, I've always been organizing events, and I've always been in the space since I was, like I said, a kid. I was 13 or 14 years old, and I rented a Polish basement hall, and I printed flyers, and I brought speakers, and I did a party. Like I was always hosting.
So you have no problem grabbing the mic and addressing a crowd.
Yeah, jitters are always going to happen for sure. But
Yeah.
once you get up there, that's what you love to do. Even DJing and emceeing at the same time, right? Like you too. You're on stage, you get off, you're always on, and now you're doing weddings on a weekend. I completely understand. And that's one thing I thought of before even doing the pod with you. I was like, man, we in the Abbas could talk about weddings for sure, right? But stand-up started late. Did the Second City stuff, fell in love, and then I did the Second City 2 stuff with Jim McAleese.
I don't know.
No, so he's
I did
he's actually
improv
Keith,
at Second City.
He's Keith Andrews' dad.
Oh, you won't. Excuse me.
Accent. What is
Yeah. Right.
That's how accents are made.
Poorly timed Indian accent. It's like, what? Where did that come?
Just gargle water.
You didn't do that the whole Gujarati thing at the beginning. It's like timing. But yeah, his dad works there. Interesting.
No, works there. I don't know if he's teaching there still, obviously with pandemic, but
at
he's
the
just
time.
very funny. But anyway, Jim McAleese is my teacher. At first, I was apprehensive on staying in that class or going to someone else. I'm like, old white dude, great. I'm like, how funny. Fucking hilarious. He's an OG. Not only is he an OG Abbas, but Jim McAleese, his circle, like, I was like, it's like when we go to shows, like me, you, and like Jordan will like sit on the side, we'll have a beer before our sets. Him, Norm Macdonald.
Oh, yeah.
And
He's
Jim,
an OG.
And Jim Carrey, right?
Legit, huh?
He even told us stories like Jim Carrey would be like piss poor and like took whatever he had and moved to LA. He like that level. Amazing stuff. And he guided me a lot, and he gave me some really good feedback, and I did his stand-up 2 class. And one thing that he told me that will always stick with me was
Never wear shorts on stage. Never
like-
fuck the bartenders.
Right.
It's like, what? It's like,
I'm like,
are we
"I
gonna
do that all
Are we
the
gonna
time."
learn any comedy stuff?
But he goes, yeah, Himansu, he goes, I think you're onto something. He's like, I'll tell you right now. He's like, I think you'll give Russell a run for his money. I'm like, what? And I've been jerking off to that statement ever since.
Yeah, right. Come on. You're literally before you came here. You run for your money. Like, dude.
Yeah,
man.
I'm not sure if pandemic year counts, but yeah, August 15th was 4 years of in it, right?
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Respect.
Enjoying the
coming up
process.
nicely too. I saw you crush the other day. I'm like, man, this nigga's never even done the podcast. I'm gonna have this guy on the podcast.
Thank you.
bro.
I thought it was because I asked you for a shirt. You're gonna ask me to be in the podcast.
Oh, dude, not even.
Comics. If you want to be in the podcast, just ask the boss for a shirt.
It's true. He's discovered it, and I do remember that you wanted a shirt, and
Yeah.
I'll hook you up with a shirt if you still want it.
Of course, I want it. It's a dope shirt. I'm gonna support.
That's how you
your
got on the
stuff.
podcast. You knew that it was engineered by you. Don't try to put it back on
Not
me.
at all.
Is there anything I could come in your house and pick up?
Hey, since
we're
I'm here.
Yeah. Whoa, the lights are on. No, they're not. But no, dude, you're out here, you're crushing it, you're doing your thing.
Thank you.
And like I said, I've heard in podcasts, I've heard the older comedy crowd, because I've been in a bunch of comedy scenes now, but the older you are when you get in your game, you just get there faster. 5 years of getting in the game, like when you got in, is like 8-9 years of just like trying to, because we're just, even me, I'm just throwing shit at the wall. Yeah. I don't really have my voice figured out yet. You know what I mean? Because I don't have those life experiences, like that just comes with time.
Yeah.
But that's actually a huge benefit about starting late. So it may actually benefit you big time.
It is what it is, right? Like I'm not like I can't be a struggling comic or artist like some of our peers or even some of our people that we love who work in New York or LA that are rooming together and like they work at like Starbucks and I can't have a kid, right? Like I have a child I got to support. So this is my situation. But I think at the end of the day, I love like making people laugh, man. And writing, the whole idea of just writing a joke, performing it and getting the result.
It's the best.
It's the fucking best thing.
It's the best. It's the best, especially when you take the all of the mystery out of it and the unknown. It used to be like, fuck, this. And then you get it down to a point where it's like, I know where I can get on stage tonight. I know what I want to work on. I know I have a show tomorrow. I know what I could do. Do I want to do new stuff? It's just this whole thing. It's like so exciting. It's just so it feels like life when you commit fully to stand-up, life feels like a video game. You know what I mean?
What's in store? What's
you're
the
like,
next
yo,
level?
I'm on this quest. Yo, I'm at a Kitchener show. I'm doing 7 minutes, but who knows? If I kill, I may host. I go back. I've achieved the host. I've unlocked the host status.
That's how I feel. I think about being on the pod, bro. Like I respect your game. Like you used to hit me up all the time when I was running my Thursday show in Liberty Village, the Liberty Laugh Show.
Love that.
Right?
It's in a fucking grocery store, cafe,
bro.
9 things. I was shocked that wasn't owned by a brown guy. The 9 types of businesses he's trying to run in here.
Yeah, coffee shop. Situation. Yeah, coffee shop. Like TV's in there, but I love that venue, and I'm gonna start it up again. Contingent on all this fucking pandemic stuff.
You'll be able to.
Right? We will. I love
limits
that
just
room.
Increased.
Perfect, right? But that room, even if there's 10 people, it's a great show.
Yeah.
But you used to always hit me up saying, Himansu's the room. And like I said, I'm so new at it. And I go, that's the same way I DJ. I was telling my guys from Montreal who are in town right now, I'm like, we started doing our own parties because we wanted to DJ our own parties.
Yeah.
I'm doing my own shows
to get on stage.
on my own fucking show. I'm not going to wait for anybody and do it. And that's where you master the craft and get better. But anyways, love that room. You used to always hit me up to do it. And even if my lineup was already stacked, you'd always shoot me a text message, say, yo, can I get on? Or send me a DM on Instagram. And I really admired your hustle. And I know you're working part-time and you're also in the acting game and doing auditions and stuff like that. I think that's where I met your girlfriend for the first time as well. I'm like, fuck, man, Abbas is a hustler. It's crazy. London, driving to Toronto, like.
Thanks, man.
Big up.
When I left engineering, I was like, let's go 100% in this. Amazing. Like, I've never gone 100% in anything in my life. Yeah. And I was like, you live once, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's like, let me do this now. It's all I want to do. Yeah. And let me, what did they say? Hit the hammer while it's hot or whatever. Well, you know what I mean?
You're fucking hilarious, bro. And even when I did your Nothing Fancy show, like, yeah, you guys are. I consider you guys like quote unquote OGs, even if we're a few years ahead of me. But
that's funny.
The game is fun, and back to levels and unlocking levels like a video game. Yeah, I did the set. The next day you hit me up like, yo, can the puck? I'm like, I unlocked this level.
Yeah, see, it wasn't the shirts, but the shirt was that was the one of those things in the game where it's like you don't know it's gonna open a door.
It's gonna happen.
It's like just go talk to that old man. The old man was the master all along. He unlocked it like a little Easter egg. Shit.
Yeah,
but that was fucking jokes, yo. Yeah, man, it's all about just getting connected and just I really want to build up like. I like the idea of, as we grow and become like headliners, to have this podcast to just be like, go back and like see all the people in their come up states, in their open mic, in their young states, just be like, fuck, dude, I want to this, that, that's what my favorite thing about this podcast is like knowing that like there's videos on YouTube right now that are from like 2004 or 5 when YouTube started, right? In 20 years, my episodes should still be on YouTube. Unless YouTube does some big purge, my episodes will still be on YouTube. You'll be able to go back and be like, what the fuck did I say 20 years ago on this thing? And there'll be so many podcasts you won't know. At that point, you'll just type in Himansu Patel and just keep going on the next page.
Like, oh, man.
Yeah, like, dude, what? This 19 years ago? Look at me.
19 years
Yeah, or whatever it is, right? Yeah. Isn't that crazy? That's the craziest part about this, that I'm like, we're going in the right direction. Even though we're just like, let's go faster. Fuck it, let's have a good time.
It's a crazy thing. And even during the pandemic, I was telling my girlfriend, I'm like, man, am I going to continue like this? Like it was a wonky couple of years for everybody, right? But I had some pretty crazy moments in 2020, 2021. And I was like, man, the comedy is like, is it a priority right now? Like maybe I need to focus on like work and my kid and virtual school. Like, the news cycle's bonkers, right? I'm not having writing anything. And then I think the one like patio set that I did, pre-vaccine and all that stuff, I'm like, okay, no. I'm not fucking giving this shit up. I go, this makes me feel amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm 41 now, bro. Like if I'm like 50 and I find my voice, all good, right? And this might delve into me do more producing shows or writing or...
Well, think about it, 50, you're almost a 15-year comic.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you got what?
Yeah.
At least, depending on how you do it, you could have at least a good 10, 20 over years of in that zone.
10, 20 minutes?
Years.
Oh, 10, 20 years. Okay. Yeah.
Of like to be like, no, imagine at that, by 50, you should have 20 minutes, bro. I think you do it. I think you could have 20 minutes in 10 years.
Start talking about the pandemic in 10 years.
You guys remember that? Yeah. Imagine 10 years from now, the guy's still doing the pandemic. It's COVID, huh?
COVID. So masks, huh?
Dude, it's a crazy time, man. It's so weird. Have you seen, I keep asking people this, have you seen anyone rejected from, unvaccinated people rejected from venues? That shit is like, bro, by the way, have you seen New York? New York is like, what? Tomorrow we are firing every unvaccinated hospital worker.
I saw your post.
I said no. That my thing was about Ontario.
Yeah.
But the day after I made that video, New York was like, "We're not just suspending you without pay. You're fired. All of you, doctors, nurses, you're fired." We're like, "What is this? Is disproportionate?" One in the history of my life, I have never seen administration this aggressive about compliance for anything. You could get a DUI and be a doctor the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can have assault cases against you and you're still
operating. You could be, exactly. You could have open assault cases in court with nurses you work with.
A fucking junior mint could fall into somebody's stomach while performing surgery.
Yeah, and they'll be like, we'll investigate it, but you have pay. But they're like, you don't have Moderna? You're done, you fucking bitch. You're done.
This is new territory for everybody, right? And it's unfortunate where we are. But it's like now with the news and the pressure you get from like people and the media, like the people making decisions up top, they feel the pressure and they got to go all in and just cascade that messaging and put the hammer down, so to speak. But it's fucking sad, man. Vaccinated, unvaccinated. Yeah, I did have an experience just this Sunday, man. I did a show at a comedy bar. And one of my close family friends, man, couldn't get in. No,
dude, that doesn't make any sense.
It sucks. I was talking about this with my boys yesterday. Like this whole like passport stuff. I don't agree with.
It's crazy.
I don't.
It's crazy, because
I believe in the masking. I believe in do your thing, wash your hands.
Of course, yeah.
Also, let this virus do its thing. But it's fucking sad. This is not a time that we ever predicted, right? Like you're what, 31, 30?
I'm turning 30 in a week. Next
30
week.
in a week. Nice. Like in the 80s, we never fucking think of this.
Dude,
it's wild.
Coming up, it was like, get a flu shot if you want. Sure, but
I never got one in my life.
I got one like 3 times just because they gave them free I was an immigrant. And we're like, free shot in gym? Okay. And then like, you get it every year because it's free. And then you realize, oh, you don't have to get this. I never had the flu. It's like, yeah, the vaccine worked. It's like, you know what I mean? But now it's a different level. It's a different level because it's like, I thought, you remember those metrics where they were like, we need 70% of people single dose, and 30% to be double dosed so we can hinder pandemic numbers.
Yeah.
Now it's 80% double dose. And they're like, we need to get every one of these 20%. It's like, isn't it if the vast majority, that herd immunity kicks in where it's like the vast majority have it, so the great mass population is not at risk of succumbing to like this crazy pandemic outbreak.
100%.
I thought that's what it was, but now it's kind of like this political thing of like right now they're cornering the last people who don't want to get vaccines.
Well, kids 5 years old to 10.
No, like I'm talking about adults who have not been vaccinated. Yeah. You're like Mo Ismail. He's like, if you want to be a teacher, get vaccinated. Like all these jobs, so eventually they're gonna be so cornered they can't go to a movie theater, they can't go to this. They'll get it, and then there'll be a small population of people who are literally living like fucking lepers. They might as well just become the underground crab people at that point.
We have to bring the food out from the restaurant to them on the
street. Right? Like they become untouchables of fucking Canada. You know what I mean?
But with legs.
Right? And they're white. Yeah. White untouchables. What's the world come to?
That's crazy, man.
It's getting wild, bro. Yeah. It's not even, it has nothing to do with health, it even seems anymore.
Yeah, things get political real quick. I think if the comment section got disabled for like 2 years, it would be good.
Explain.
I don't know. I just think it breeds just so much
You're right. That's actually
division,
such a
man.
good point.
You know,
the comment section.
That's if you
that's
notice,
a good tweet. You should tweet that. I'll comment.
Did. I think I did, and I got fucking suspended from Twitter.
Oh yeah,
I think it's.
I would have retweeted it, bro.
I follow you on Twitter, and yeah, you're funny.
I have like 11 followers. I just got on Twitter. Follow me. I tweet
he has like
sometimes.
10,000 Instagram followers, but 10 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm like, get to this 10,000 too.
But no, I just think that there's just so much division in everything, man. Just be kind and be good. Like with there's all these movements and like the racism and the vaccine, just be cool, right? I think everybody's on edge. Like everybody is will get set off any day, right? Like the news cycle is just so crazy, so much negativity, so much uncertainty, especially the last fucking, little while. People get fired up so fast, and that's what creates like road rage and like,
all of the negativity
friction
in
with
society.
Friction with your partner.
The rioting, protests, everything.
What a crazy time! Like May, June of the movement, right? How crazy it was a culmination of everything at once.
It was wild. I've never seen it before.
We're witnessing history. Like we have the pictures, the memes, all that stuff to go with it. But I think in terms of peace, we need peace, man. Like there's just too much hate, and the comment section, bro. Whether you're on fucking National Post or New York Post,
the fans like
Twitter or Facebook, like it's too much fucking hate.
Yeah,
that wasn't around. That wasn't around back then, right? And we would just be getting along. I knew gay dudes, man, in college. I was cool with them. Like everyone's good. Like, but this whole vaccine pandemic stuff, we're gonna have to just wait for it to do its thing.
I just don't know. It's like they keep lingering. Soon they'll be 90% double vaccinated.
Yeah, but the thing that apparently the strain mutates, so it's going to be another type of form of the flu. Like I never had.
They're saying the vaccine is very effective against the Delta variant. I saw that, and then other people are like, it's not effective, and it's like, let's end this. What?
Yeah, but one thing that I do agree on though, I do trust fucking science. They're smart.
Of course.
I
just wonder what would happen if forget vaccine passports, forget everything. We just picked up right now as if it was February of 2020. Like, just...
That's all I want.
Go. Just go. No vaccines, nowhere. No masks, nowhere. I wonder what will happen to the numbers. I would love to see. Like, if it's a massive spike, I'll be like, okay, I will shut the fuck up from now on.
Yeah. Or like a litmus test?
Yeah. You guys figured this out. Clearly, I had no idea what I was talking about. These numbers are 10 times. But if we're 80% double... every place that you need to go is like, in ACTRA, as an actor, we still have to... get a COVID test before every time we go on set. Why are we all double vaccinated? We're all double vaccinated. What was the point of the vaccine? Exactly. We're wearing masks. Why am I doing the COVID test?
Bro, I went to a Japanese...
Like, do the COVID test, but don't tell me I have to be double vaccinated. If I need a negative test to get on set, why the fuck do I have to be double vaccinated? I am double vaccinated. Yeah. I'm just looking out for these other because people are so quick to come to this side and be like, fuck that side. We're on this side, right? But I've never seen like the other side they're just getting like I feel like right now it feels like when the Jim Crow laws took effect in like the South, where like you get your own water fountain and they get a fucked up one. And we're like, we get one. We're poor white people too, but we get something slightly better. Yeah. Fuck them. Like you're quick to just be like, yeah, fuck that. Fuck those people. At least we're not that. But now I'm looking at that side like that's disproportionate.
It is.
You know what I mean? You want a bar? Let's see you got both. I have a result that shows I have no COVID from an hour ago. Fuck that. Double vaccine, bitch.
I went to like a Japanese barbecue place yesterday, man, and they obviously want
like Korean barbecue.
Yeah, a Japanese one. Yeah, some similar vibes.
Just more efficient.
More efficient, cleaner.
Nice, with great honor.
Great honor.
Okay,
very disciplined, very regimented, and very good at origami.
I think we hit the racism perfect.
Oh, I know. Okay. Gotta be careful. But in terms of vaccine passports, man. So everybody had to be vaccinated, right? I had my fucking certificates in my phone. You also have to show your ID. But not only that, they doubled up and then fucking pointed that thing at my forehead, and they did the temperature check. Then they take the tracing for the phone number. Like when? Like, come on, you know? Like I'm vaccinated, bro. You know?
I know. Like I feel like
my daughter wasn't. You know.
I feel like at some point, don't the things you're telling us to do, don't they cancel out any of the other things? It's all additive. It's just adding. Like, don't any of these precautions make things safer? Everything is, like, you know what I mean? They haven't taken any of the things away. They're just like, vaccine passport, check your thing, you have the mask.
Wear a mask,
we can't keep this table at this table. Exactly. Like, We did all the things. None of these are resetting. What the fuck is happening?
I mean, I think numbers are fucking low. No, like
numbers are much lower than they were, but they're climbing.
But bro, even if
they're
it's
climbing.
600 people, even if it's 600 cases in Ontario, do you know how big Ontario is?
I know,
but
dude.
I understand community transmission. The numbers could fucking,
I get that. Yeah, there's 100 heart attacks a day at
but
least.
bro,
It's like
let's just. Anyways, this is what we're in right now. It's like when things were normal, we lived. Now with COVID, we need to just live, try or not,
adjust,
adapt.
That's a good one too.
Try to, and I think you're meditating and shit too, right? Like I meditate.
I actually just meditated a little bit before this. It was
nice because you knew I was gonna fucking be annoying.
Yeah, I was like, "Fuck, here we go." Himansu fucking Patel.
There you go. There you go. You said it.
Fuck.
Be calm. I work. I got my kid, and life gets in the way, and it's been rough. But you gotta have a at least some kind of clean mindset to pummel through because it's gonna be over. It's gonna go away.
Yeah. You gotta have that mindset. Otherwise, it's like you need a light at the end of the fucking tunnel.
You need a light.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there is one. But remember how crazy it was when it first started?
Oh,
bonkers,
we've come a long way.
A long way, man. Yo, we did a fucking show. I did a show together with you last week, right? I said no one's masked. Everyone's sitting at their tables, packed show.
Yeah, but it's like put it on the way to the bathroom. You're like, why?
I know. It's just the rules don't make sense.
If you want to go to that table, put the mask on. It's like, huh? It's like the gym. It's like you gotta wear your mask from the bench to the water fountain. But if you're at the bench, you just take it off.
Doesn't make sense.
Okay, whatever.
Elevators, 3 people.
Yeah. Whatever. But we're all vaccinated. Okay, I guess. Or there might be 1 in 5 of us might not be.
But then my kids in class. But then my kids in class with 26 kids side by side,
unvaccinated, and they bring you back death.
And then the old grandmother picks up
the kids and they just die.
Doesn't
They
make sense,
disintegrate right away.
It doesn't make sense. Let's just be patient. This is what it is. But it's fucking wild. That's all I gotta say.
Yo, here's a question.
Yeah.
In your life as a DJ, do the brown artists that you deal with, do they give you more respect because you're you're a brown dude?
No, they want guest list. That's what they want.
No, I don't talk about regular people.
Oh.
I'm talking about Hassan Minaj. I'm talking about these guys.
Or do I respect them?
No. They go, oh, what's up? You know what I mean? Do they show you extra respect relative to the non-brown guys? Oh, fuck, a brown DJ. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. But I've never DJed for Hassan Minaj, though.
I thought you were saying you had the DJ, you were DJing the room that they were performing at for those 7 years.
No, I was the venue coordinator.
That
was separate.
I thought you were controlling the music.
I did DJ events for JFL.
Yeah.
And actually, okay, so this was stemmed it off. So before the contract shit happened, back in I was always promoting clubs. So I had weeklies on Saturdays, Friday nights in Montreal. We ran the party scene. Okay.
Bro, I gotta say,
I
hate promoters.
Yeah, well, I'm not a Toronto promoter.
Well, what's the difference between Montreal?
I was a different type of
promoters.
I know what you mean, but
they got no fucking. They're not doing the thing, and they're just in the middle, being like, yeah.
Not at all. But
you never see them again after the thing.
Maybe the new bred ones are terrible, but I think I'm an old school head, and I'm from the mid 90s and 2000s. I did the party scene, and it was a different time, a different era for sure. We put in the work. We packed in these rooms. We weren't fucking bottle
posters,
dudes. Flyers, posters, radio. We'd fucking sticker up vans and shit. Drive around the city, hustle, sell tickets. Right, we'd do that. Pack these parties up, 1,500, 2,000 people, bro.
Oh shit!
Not small fucking, not dives. We just love music, So, anyways, when I was DJing, you come across all kinds of people, black, white. Our market was Indian, Asian, black, dasher, Italian.
A lot of hip hop.
All hip hop and R&B and reggae and soca for sure. Yeah, that was our thing. Lime Time was the company. So shouts to my partner Ati, rest in peace.
Shout out Ati, rest in peace.
Yeah, man, love you, brother. And he named it. So we started together back in '96, and we've been doing parties since. So I did that whole DJing, promoting thing for a long time. But anyways, we were packing up these clubs. We're like, what's the next step? So in 2004, let's do comedy. Let's do a comedy show, right? This is before Just for Laughs, before even me doing anything. So we're like, let's find these comedians on YouTube. We found them. We shortlisted them. We old school way, email, a fucking MySpace, right?
Yeah.
And we called it the Immigration Line Comedy Show.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You fuckers, this was before me, wasn't it?
Before Just for Laughs started doing ethnic heroes of comedy and all that stuff.
Oh, before it was hot to put on ethnic people?
You know what I'm saying? So I had a lineup, some Toronto comedians, some Montreal comedians. Immigration was the usual suspects background, and I promoted it. Guys, so we're doing stand-up now. We're happy when there's 15 people at the show, right?
Yeah.
We did almost 600 people at this show.
Oh, these are
Big
like
rooms.
Caravana, like big shows.
Big rooms, bro. In
like
Montreal.
reception halls, like where weddings would
We
be.
did it at the
like...
Just for Laughs studio. So there's Just for Laughs office, and next door they had a hall, a rental. So I rented it. So what happened was I did it all outside Just for Laughs. We promoted, we drove the sales. Comedians rocked it.
Do you remember any of the ones you booked?
100%, man. We had Rodney Ramsey from Montreal. We had Kwesi Thomas from Montreal. We had Jazzman, Indian comic. He was in a couple of Bollywood movies. He's from Toronto.
I just know Something Sammy from Montreal.
Sugar Sammy's my friend.
Sugar Sammy.
So we did parties together, Sammy and I.
Yeah?
On Saturday night. So check this out. He's part of the story as well. And then we had Rob Clifford from Toronto. He's a white comedian.
Is he a big guy, Clifford?
No.
Clifford
He's
Myers,
a skinny white guy. He doesn't do stand-up anymore, but... Anyways, it was a great show. But anyway, so before the show happened, Sugar Sammy hits me up because we were partners at our party.
Sugar Sammy's a big comic in the Montreal. I think
massive.
he
Shouts to
big time,
Sammy,
right?
man. Like fucking, he's an OG, and he fucking blew up. He like residency in France, and he's one of the judges on like the France's equivalent of America's Got Talent.
Oh, no way!
It's wild.
I had no idea. Did he speak French?
He speaks fluent French. Does a stand up in French. He's phenomenal. He's great. Yeah, he's great. And he, on the come up, we saw him do it. Like, he would write jokes in the office while we're counting cash after the party.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, I'm doing stand up. And back then, you don't know. We don't understand. We're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's like the Sugar
The
Sammy.
guy. Yeah.
So he hits me up. He's like, yo, you got that show on Saturday, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I got some people that want to be on your guest list. I'm like, oh, sure. What's up? He's like, they're actually pretty cool people. They're from Just for Laughs. I'm like, oh, for sure. I'll put them on the list. So I put them on the list. And then I guess they were impressed with the way the show was run, paced, especially for non-comedy producers. And they reached out to me. He's like, yo, come to our office next week, and we want you to help co-promote some of our ethnic shows, right?
Oh.
And that's what started in 05. And then in 06, I was still helping them co-promote the show. So we did like Dr. Ken, Joe Coy, all that shit. I have the flyers, bro. Yeah. I did.
How was Joe Coy?
One side was the after party, music by my crew and like myself and everybody, and the other side was the show.
Gotcha. The after party just breaks down right after the headliner closes out?
People walk to another venue across the street and do a 90s party there and shit. It was fucking amazing. Yeah. I was 24 years old then. And so I helped them co-promote, and they brought me back in the office like, hey, why don't you help us run one of our shows during the fest? And that's when I did that contract work for them for 7 years. So I was always around. I was always peeking, lurking, right? Like around the scene. And then here we are now doing comedy.
It's so funny how you just be around something that...
So long.
Dude, I used to watch stand-up every day. Yeah. Every day I would watch stand-up for at least 10 years before like I got on stage the first time. Every day. And I was like, when I did engineering in like year 2 of engineering, where I just like, I was having an existential crisis where I was like, I'm depressed. I don't like this. I just don't know what to do. And it's just crazy how he's like, I don't know what to do. And it's like, you've been like a class clown your whole life. You watch stand-up every day your whole life. You know what I mean?
Kicked
like
out, detention.
Everything.
I do anything for a laugh.
Yeah. Like, of course it was going to be stand-up. But it's just like when because I just never grew up with the mentality that any non-technical field is a legitimate career. I had no idea.
100%.
I had, like, I thought of, like, comedians and artists. I almost had pitied them in a little bit. Like, yo, I love these people, but, you know, like, they're not doctors. They're not engineers. They're not scientists, right? Like, those are the only careers that are due for the respect type deal. Like, those are the only legitimate careers. You can't live off of this stuff.
That's my DJing thing. So I was promoting DJing. My Indian parents were like, oh, how long are you going to be doing parties every day? Party. And I'm like, well, no.
You'll see how it play. Yeah. You'll see what'll happen. I'm going to do stand-up in 10 years.
But it's ingrained in your head as a kid. Like, there's no legitimate career. But the same people that I work with back in the early 2000s and 90s are owning supper clubs and nightclubs. And, you know, they obviously got hit during the pandemic, but they're in the scene still and doing very well, right? But growing up ethnic, you know, like there's no career in arts.
Because they haven't seen it done. Because your parents came here, right?
Yeah.
So it's like white people and like a lot of people that have just generationally have been here, not even white necessarily, but they have seen, once you're in the first world, your opportunities to actually make a legitimate career branch out dramatically. Like if I want to eat and have a good career and I'm in Sudan, it's limited. You know what I mean? It's actually limited. I know free speech is not a thing. So as far as like being an artist or anything like that, I'm either trying to get out of Sudan or keep a local market, be like a Sudani guy, but no one's like, I want to be a singer when I grow up. And like, I haven't met that guy yet. Really, they just push you towards engineering and being a doctor there or a pharmacist or a lawyer, right? Yep. Like none of the creative fields there's no drive. There's nothing towards them, right? At all. But then when you come here, there's crazy examples. The way I put it is like, people I know that have just their grandparents were here. One of their uncles did a thing and like was in entertainment for a little bit, and they run into him in Thanksgiving, and they see he's a normal guy, and he tells them, "Oh yeah, I used to do this," or you know what I mean, or their aunt produced this, or like within the family unit, they have examples of all these things generationally. Yeah. Whereas when you come as an immigrant, they're just like, okay, what does society need for sure? Doctor, engineer, scientist, be those things, because we're just trying to chase security for you guys. That's why we're here.
The security, yeah.
We haven't seen it work any other way, and even if we have, forget those, because it's a numbers game. I know, like if you become an engineer, at least you can have a safe, secure. Yeah. You know, be it monotonous, but you will have a safe, secure life, so to speak, right? Yeah. Whereas other people are like, yeah, bro, do your, you know what I mean? It takes privilege. You have to be coming from some level of privilege to be like, follow your dreams.
Oh, I know.
We will get you if it.
I know. Imagine me quitting my job and tell my daughter, no, that's it. I'm going to follow my dreams, do open mics all week and figure it out.
Yeah, right?
But yeah, it's crazy.
She's like, I'm hungry right now.
It's like, reminds me of, like Fahim Anwar. He's one of my favorites.
Oh, he's one of my favorites.
I fucking love him.
Bro.
I love.
If you do not know stand-up comedian Fahim Anwar, he just actually dropped a 20-minute collective on YouTube. Check out B-Sides, Fahim Anwar. Google it, B/B-sides. He is one of those guys who I'm just like, when is this guy going to blow up? When is his time coming? He did Rogan. Sometimes people do Rogan, and it doesn't do anything for them. You know?
Yeah.
Mark Norman did Rogan, and his fucking special, I mean, it's a great special. But he did a lot. He did the whole circuit of people. Yeah. And his special is almost like 10 million views, right?
Yeah.
And which facilitates.
Even Sam Morrill.
Sam Morrill is over 1 million. And now Shane Gillis. All the New York guys.
Yeah.
Joe List, same thing.
So good.
They're ready. Yeah. They drop an hour. They put it on YouTube, the Schultz method, and then they go on the fucking podcast circuit of all the established comedians who go, wow, check out this guy's stuff. It's great. And then it facilitates. But it never happened for Fahim. And I don't understand. Of course it will.
It's gonna.
He's like I'm not an investor. I'm not in stock market. I used to be in the stock market a little bit, but I didn't know what I was doing. But if you look at it like the stock market, Fahim Anwar is crazy undervalued stock.
Crazy undervalued. I went to see him live in a small room.
Where?
In Montreal.
When?
He did Just for Laughs right before pandemic year. So
I saw a lot of Afghanis in the room,
2019. Right? Oh, I don't remember.
I listened to his podcast. He's like, there was a lot of Afghanis or something.
Or maybe, yeah.
But did he crush?
Fucking crush. But some people like him. Some people like, some jokes are just too quick. They goes over people's head. But it's just his mannerisms, his animated, his movements. He's flexible. Like, he's wild. He's all the things. He's everything. He checks every box. But he worked at Boeing, right? And he quit his job.
Yes, he was an
Boeing.
engineer.
Exactly.
That's why I got like mad respect for him, because he did the same thing. Yeah, but he didn't work at it as long as I did, and he was doing comedy even in school.
Right. Whereas even Alonzo Bonin. Alonzo Bonin too.
He's an engineer.
He was an aircraft mechanic.
Yeah.
But he's straight at Boeing as well, and he fucking quit his job. And I've seen Alonzo live many times for the festival.
Really?
So,
because he's an OG.
He's an OG, and I love his voice. I love his delivery.
It's like a lot of people. Like I just.
It's Trump. Donald Trump. Like it's just. Yeah.
Donald. No, that's like way off.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't. I have no like. I have no business doing fucking voices. I'll just do the Gujarati or the one again.
But you gotta drink water.
Yo.
Yeah.
I asked 3 questions on this podcast. Okay. Immigrant Section. You gotta ask these questions. Okay. Were you beat?
Honestly, I wasn't beat. I wasn't beat. You know, I was like the Skylar of the family.
This is why you were like, I want to leave India when you were 12. This explains that.
This sucks. No, my sisters fucking, obviously went through a lot of heat growing up, right? Having elder sisters, 3 sisters.
You're one of the only boy?
Only boy. 10-year gap with my youngest sister, right? So I'm like the youngest of the family.
There's a 10-year gap between you and the next sibling?
Yeah, exactly. They're all older, right?
Yeah, and in an immigrant family, you can't be like, am I an accident? It's like, you are. Get the fuck out. Never dare ask a question like that.
Well, I'm like, I had the boys here. But no, we had some rough... rough fights for sure around the house. But I didn't get beat. But I do remember one time of, how people say like microwaves will kill you?
Yeah.
Because of radioactive.
Yeah.
So I remember I got into this huge spat with my dad. And I think I was like 13 or 12 or whatever it is. But for some reason, my head was just down. And he ended up hitting me in the head with the microwave door.
Like he pressed it and or he swung
That's
it.
like a very light.
Yeah. He's like, Himansu, put your hand here.
I remember being around the microwave door. I'm like, oh my god, my head hurts, and I think he hit me with it. But there's no significant stories of me getting like beat. But they did like chase after me with like the things you make chapati.
Oh
with.
yeah, the rolling.
I got hit once with that slipper for sure.
So you had it pretty good.
Yeah, slipper pretty good. In terms of ethnic immigrant section standards, yeah.
Like you said, a lot of your family's in Canada.
Yeah.
So you grew up around cousins here. Mm-hmm. Were they getting handled
Montreal.
way more?
Yeah.
Or were you all like in this like pretty kind of like liberal? Like let's
it wasn't
line up
liberal.
with
It wasn't liberal.
It was
They're
liberal.
old school. They're old school, man. They moved to Canada in 1972, right? So obviously we saw our fair share. Like I'm not saying I was like Dennis the Menace, bratty, not beat. No, it was pretty fucking rough growing up, you know. But in terms of like actual like hits, like they would never sit down and bring the belt out or like my Jamaican friends.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was gonna be like, do you get beat like Jamaicans? Yeah. Too, actually.
But it was tense for sure. Like I can't go in the house and be like fucking.
Yeah, what's up? This is my white girlfriend.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
it takes. Yeah, you got to get to your 30s before you do
they were old school. But like I said, my sisters paved the way. They paved the way for a lot of young Gujarati people back in the day.
Fuck yeah.
They were like teens
Shout out
in
to
the
your
80s.
sisters.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Next question. Yeah. What is some shit you've only seen in India that you've never seen anywhere else?
Ooh, good question. I've only seen in India. Well, I guess like a cow like just walking down the street by itself. You don't see that on Dundas.
Like no owner.
Nothing. No owner. Oh yeah, like a group of cattle just walking.
Like they're not owned.
Like just skinny. They're not even like appetizing.
Because cows are holy there.
Cows are holy there.
For the most part, unless you're Muslim.
Hindus don't eat beef, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hindus don't eat beef.
And they're used for transportation and like milk, and they're not going to kill them.
They're not used for transportation.
They are. What they are? Everything. They're used for everything.
Okay, but we don't eat them.
No.
Milk is fine.
Yeah.
So they just like total respect. You don't fuck. Like there's no cow tipping in India.
I'm sure I'm sure there's a fucking Indian TikTok challenge called fucking tip
he's
your
like,
cow.
did you hear him? Let's fucking tip this cow, man.
Exactly.
But yeah, I could easily say.
Yeah, but obviously you see the fair share of gross stuff in India, right? Like you see like people fucking shitting, but you see that on like after the nightclubs.
Yeah,
fucking
just
King
leave
Street,
the first world. Yeah,
you see like,
or go to Peter Street or whatever the fuck. Yeah,
King Street. Fucking
go to the club street or leave the first world. Right. Go to a bush in the drinking street of any major city.
Go to Bombay Palace at 7 p.m.
Yeah, Bombay Palace. That's pretty clutch. That reminds me of Sudan, of just like the crazy amount of like stray dogs, but it's like rabied. Like the vibe of a stray dog is not cute over there.
Yeah, you can't
just fucking haggard. Like the hair is unkept. They're all like fucking like brushed like and manicured. Yeah, exactly. Right, with a date on it, like fucking Tim Hortons coffee.
Exactly.
But okay, third question.
Yeah.
This who is like growing up, who was the butt of jokes? Like when your parents talk shit, they're like, don't be a fucking blank. Like they talk shit about like white people, Pakistanis, like they're people like ethnicities for the most part I've seen. They always have another like rival ethnicity kind of for the most part. Like, you know, Italians will talk shit about like the Greeks. Egyptians and Sudanese talk shit about each other. A lot of Eastern Europeans talk shit about each other.
I think for Muslims, man, Muslim people, because like marrying a Muslim person or they don't be,
okay,
But it wasn't really apparent. It wasn't really apparent with my life because I didn't hang around Indian people growing up. Like I hung around a lot of like black people and like a couple of white people in school.
Any black Muslims?
No,
like it wasn't.
They're
Muslims
all Jamaican or like Bajan.
Gotcha.
So my parents would be like, you're like this because of like your black friends.
Oh yeah. So it went to black people.
Mostly black people, yeah.
But if you had Muslim friends, you'd be like those fucking Muslims, right?
Yeah, like don't marry a Muslim girl.
Okay, so a Muslim buddy is not a problem. It's like joining Muslim family. That's a problem.
Nowadays,
do what you want.
Nowadays,
I mean, you're in your 40s.
Yeah, don't die alone. Like,
Yeah, right.
But I'm like, everyone's like, oh, you should get married again. You get a good job. I'm like, no, I'm gonna stand up for no pay, mom.
Yeah, you're like, for now.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It's
one road, man, one journey.
You like the reason that like the pay scale for this fucking industry is like it's exponential, because once you get paid your due amount at the end, you're really getting paid. In my mind, the way I've like the logic behind the way I look at it is you're getting paid for all the years you put in, all the years where you were fucking at a mic for a year and a half.
Yeah.
And like you're doing 4 minutes, and all the audience left, and you're like, "What the whole time? The whole last 45 minutes? Like, what the fuck am I doing? Why am I here,
bro? Yeah.
Why am I here? Like, everyone's leaving. By the time I get up, but something keeps you seated.
I fucking finish work, bro. I wake up at like 6:30. I do my 10-minute meditation stuff. I get my daughter's food ready for school, whatever. Drop her to school, come back. And at night, I'll like work like all day, and I'll drive to Oshawa for a mic. Like, you know? And it's like, what am I doing? It's Thursday. It's raining. I don't have to do this. But I think it's the community. I think it's it's a weird world, and I love it.
It's just that drive there, you're like, fuck. But the drive back is always like, thank God I did it. Even if you bombed, you're like, better than going to sleep right now. Like, fuck, I wish I got on stage tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the worst feeling.
Yeah.
So we're going to get paid for all that, man. And I'm fucking, I'm confident about that shit.
Absolutely.
Bro. That's why I'm putting in these hours. Last question.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Montreal. You've been in Toronto for a while. Do you prefer Montreal or Toronto vibe?
Well, in terms of living?
In terms of living, in terms of the people.
In terms of people living. I mean, there's so many Indians here. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, you're like,
I'm
not a specialist. As an
Indian guy in my building, I'm like, man, there's too many ethics in this building.
Yeah, right? Like,
but in terms of quality of life, I do enjoy Toronto. You know, like smoother roads, infrastructure's a little better, no fucking crazy potholes,
less French people.
No language stuff. Like, there's always that little fucking hint of racism anywhere you go, right? You're not speaking French. Like, you could feel it. I grew up there. I love it. But when I go back to visit, I fall more and more in love with it. It's just so like a little mini Paris, right? Yeah. The food's amazing in Montreal. Like, the scenery is great. Architecture's beautiful. You take all the other bullshit out, it's a beautiful city. And real estate's still relatively affordable compared to fucking GTA. Yeah. But I came here in 2013, and I work. I got my little work peeps, got my comedy peeps, my kiddo, my girlfriend, and it's just a fucking dope little thing I got going on here, and I don't think I'll go back.
Does your daughter prefer it here or there?
She loves Montreal because she has more family there in terms of cousins and stuff. She has lots of fun there, right? But she also likes to visit, you know?
Where would you retire to?
Where would I retire to? Good question.
Let's say at 70, you've had a healthy career in stand-up.
Man, part of me is like, I want to retire in Japan and just like live in
Have you been to Japan?
I've been to Japan. Huge influence.
Why would you want to live in Japan? I've been to Japan. I would never want to live in Japan.
I don't know about live.
Japan is sick, but I would never want to live in Japan.
Okay, maybe not live. Maybe like have a 6-month condo.
But even why though? What was
I don't know, man.
What about it was that? Japan is so like shut off socially until everyone's drinking. We're like best friends, and then it's so shut off.
I went with one of my best friends, and we went into 2018, and we just fell in love with like the fucking like just the vibe, like the city, the scene, like even like the reggae music scene is amazing there.
I missed that. I don't know where you went, but I definitely missed the Japanese reggae scene.
We searched it out, you know, because we're DJs, right?
Yeah.
You're blown away by that. Obviously, food is ridiculous. The hygiene is amazing. Like
it's great. There's no garbage bins anywhere, but it's clean as fuck.
You go to the fucking gas station and you can have the best dump of your life because the toilets are so pristine.
The spray.
Come on. And we're light years behind here in North America, you know? But, okay, no, for not Japan, but maybe somewhere tropical. Yeah.
Okay. So you haven't really given it much thought.
Where am I going to retire in terms of city? No. You know, we'll see where it goes. But back to you said, like, you know, honestly, if the real estate's good and in my mindset I'm good, maybe retire in Montreal. Yeah, like at the end.
Could you retire in India?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, okay. Just because
no,
you're a Canadian guy at this point.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Like I could never retire in Sudan.
Of course.
I'm not connected to it like that.
No.
Love my family, love my home country, all that, but it's like last time I was in Sudan, I literally at one point was like, God, I could go for Tim Hortons right now.
Right?
You know what I mean?
I'm sure there's is there a McDonald's anywhere?
No.
Nowhere.
So there's McDonald's. There's something in Khartoum. Like, you know, it's fucking like a country that's out of the loop because like they're not even getting sued. They're pretty much called McDonald's, and no one is suing them.
No one's suing them.
No one's looking.
The M is just like cursive.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's like the full normal arches M. It's like no one is suing them. No one is looking.
India has. Right, so after 2 weeks of eating this like Indian food, I'm like, man, you know, I would love like an equivalent of a Big Mac, and it's on point. Like you bite into it. You're good.
I'll say this: all the food in the world, my favorite cuisine is Indian cuisine.
Me too.
I've said this before. If I had to live on one cuisine for the rest of my life, it would be Indian cuisine.
That's awesome. I feel the same way. I think
Pakistani, I grew up pretty much eating my buddy's mom's Pakistani food.
Nice.
And I fell in love with biryani at a very young age.
Nice.
And it set the whole tone for me.
I remember you Instagram me some biryani packages over the summer.
Oh, dude, man, like I go back with.
Well,
biryani.
one day I'll have you over and I'll cook Indian food for you.
It better be proper, bro.
Bro,
I got
I cook-
old Pakistani mom
I cook tight, yo.
standards.
I cook tight, yo. I'll make
You
some-
even make Sudani shit? This guy's great, man. Yeah.
No, I'll cook up some nice goat curry for you, bro.
I'm going to hold you to that, bro.
100%.
Yo, I want you to look in this camera and tell the people where the fuck to find you, brother.
Well, I'll be in quarantine still because this pandemic's not over. No, just joking. Well, back on the scene, man. You can follow me on Instagram at Himansu Comedy. It's Himansu Comedy. And I got my monthly show at Comedy Bar. If you guys can come check that. The next one's October 24th. And yes, I'll have you on there for sure, bro.
Fuck it. On the 24th?
24th of October.
Okay, you should have told me this. I need to add the date.
Oh, what? Well, so
October
is it going to
24th?
pop up on the screen?
Well, I don't know. No,
Or you
it's not
say,
going to
like,
pop up on the
sign
screen.
up
I didn't
here,
know about this.
buy your tickets
It's like,
here.
this is how you tell me about the show. Of course, I'll have him. It's like, you didn't tell me about this spot.
Anyways,
But
October
anyways,
24th, Comedy Bar, yeah.
scroll down. The man's info is in the description as always. From my end, support the show directly at patreon.com/the immigrant section. Get weekly bonus episodes and exclusive content, full street interviews, all that stuff. Brother, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate
Thank
you
you for having
bringing
me,
these
bro.
drinks, man.
Yes, sir. We'll have one more before I bounce.
Fuck yeah, that's my guy.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Until next time, y'all been great. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.